verse 7 in that same chapter, Song of Solomon, he writes, "How beautiful you are, my darling. There is no flaw in you." Oh, man, the brothers right now are saying, "That's right, Pastor. Why don't you tell my wife to go ahead and repeat that prayer, that song right now to me. There's no flaw in me." Yeah, they're perfect. There's no faults. There's no flaw. It's intensity and it's idealism that's on a pedestal. Number 3, we find in the honeymoon stage is indulgence. There's a lot of giving in and a lot of giving up. Whatever you want, baby. No, whatever you want. No, wherever you want. Oh, you can have the remote, honey. No, you can have the remote. No, you can have the remote. That alone is funny in myself. Okay, you go along and you get along. Or in Donnie's case, no, you could drive the golf cart today, baby. No, you could drive the golf cart today. You cater to every whim. You're pampering with each other. Okay, so there's indulgence, and the fourth one is infatuation. The result of these 3 things, the result of finding yourself with intensity, idealism, and then, of course, indulgence, is you become infatuated with one another, which is an extreme happiness, this feeling of well-being, this bliss. High in love, everything seems great. The world seems great. You seem great. I seem great. Everything's great. It's hunky-dory. I'm in love. Man, there's a little trounce in your step and a pep in your step when you walk in. You're kind of like, hey, baby. All is great, man. So Solomon, through this entire book he's writing this way. You have all of these ingredients in the happy honeymoon stage: intensity, idealism, indulgence, and of course, infatuation. But one more word describes this stage that I got to put in: ignorance. The fact is, you don't really even know that person yet. You're in love with an ideal about them. You don't know what they're really like. You don't know what you're in for. As one man had told me once, "I didn't know that puppy love would lead into a doggy-dog life later." During this stage, we tend to ignore our differences and overlook one another's faults, and we put our hang-ups aside, and any major conflict, it's kind of swept under the rug. The fact is, this stage doesn't last. It can't last. Nah. Sooner or later, we're going to wake up to 3 realities. Reality number 1 is that we have differences and we have faults. Number 2, there's more to life than just having fun. And number 3, you start having to pay bills and worry about responsibilities. So the first stage kind of floats off to the side, and we come now to stage 2. Stage 2 is what I call, as my cousin Rudy and his band with the Latinos had wrote a long time ago. He wrote that band, and here it goes again. This time I had the album, but Mary doesn't like me to play these songs anymore. She said, "I'm too old." So I get to sing it again. So here it goes, the song that went, "So what will you do when the party's over?" All right, you know it. So stage 2 is the party's over. And we find that in Proverbs chapter 27. You got to realize that the man who wrote Song of Solomon, he also wrote Proverbs. And in Proverbs chapter 27, notice the change in attitude what he wrote. In Song of Solomon, he said, "Oh, you're perfect. You're flawless. Oh, there's nothing wrong with you. It's great. I'm in love. It's fantastic." That's what he wrote in Song of Solomon. A little while later, in Proverbs chapter 27, verses 15 through 16, Solomon, the same author, he wrote this about the same lovely wife. "A quarrelsome wife is like a constant dripping on a rainy day. Restraining her is like restraining the wind or grasping oil with a hand." Oh, mercy. So what happened? His delight turns into disillusionment. His dating turned into debating. His romance turned into resentment. And his ideal turned into an ordeal. This is stage 2. So what happened? It's like a man who was complaining to his pastor after 2 months after being married. He said, "Pastor, man, I got false advertisement here." The pastor told that man, "Oh, no. You took her for better or for worse." But then the man said, "Yeah, but she's a lot worse than what I took her for." Well, 5 words that characterize stage 2 in marriages. There's 5 words. Number 1, in stage 2, there's dullness. It's back to the same old routine. Boredom begins to set in. You become complacent. You begin to lose interest. You become dull and complacent. In your appearance, you let it all hang out. Oh, yeah. You know, you just let it go. Today, you all look good today. Oh, but I'm going to go to your house on Tuesday morning and see what really is going on. In dating, you remember when you were dating, see, that's kind of the preset of the honeymoon stage. Oh, they had all perfume. Oh, wait, you can't come over just yet. I'm not ready. Getting your eyelashes all ready. How does this look, honey? How does that look? You know, you're trying to make sure you're looking great. You're putting on all the nice clothes. So in dating, you're looking perfect. But then after you get married, you let it all hang out. But it's not for only the girls, guys, isn't it? It's the guys too. You know, us guys, we thought we were all styling, you know, we thought we were great. But you know what? You shaved only this morning because from Monday to Saturday, we know you let all that nubs hang out and stuff. You don't put nothing underneath those arms, and we can smell you from here. And so you let it all hang out. Number 2, disagreements. You begin to clash over differences now. You begin to argue. There's some strife in your marriage and some hang-ups, and you experience now disharmony. Number 3, defensiveness. You start protecting yourself. You're not as open as you were in the beginning. You begin to not let your guard down. You're watching your rear flank because you realize that anything you say might be used against you in the next argument. Communication breakdown. You don't want your faults to be used against you, so you start protecting yourself. So then we begin to accuse and excuse. We excuse ourselves for what we've done, but we accuse our mates. That's defensiveness. Number 4, disapproval and disappointment. Before we find Song of Solomon, or Solomon saying everything she does is right, now he's saying nothing she does is right. What's the change in attitude? There's a lot of nagging and criticizing now and complaining, and you become disillusioned about it all. You know, I have heard so many people say, man, Pastor, I feel cheated. I got in this marriage and I have secret feelings of regret, and I feel like as though I'm trapped. I don't know how to get out of it, Pastor. What have I got myself into? And the doubts begin to come along. Did I do the right thing? Did I marry that right person? Man, did I make a mistake? Was I not listening to God? Was I not listening to my mom? You know, disapproval and disappointment. So you got the 5 D's. You got dullness, disagreement, defensiveness, disapproval, and disappointment, which sets you up now for 2 more D's. The 2 big D's. Depression and divorce. You split up, dump the bum, get rid of him, get out of here. A lot of times we think the only alternative to divorce, though, is depression. I'm just going to ensure my misery for the rest of my life. I'm going to have an internal anger towards this person, and I'm just going to live with them until I die. And I'm going to be depressed. I have so many people say my relationship to my wife or my husband is really getting me down. I am so low, I'm down. They make me feel so bad. So they find themselves in depression and divorce. So what changed from stage 1 to stage 2? In stage 1, you make me feel so great. In stage 2, you make me feel so bad. You know, in my pastoring ministry, I've discovered that there's 3 alternatives when it comes to stage 2. Number 1, it's a breakup. In many cases, some of them, when they find these 5 D's, they get all, forget it. That's it. Because maybe somebody else at the workplace or maybe someplace else begins to pay attention to them, and they're feeling that first stage of honeymoon where everything's going great, because see, they don't experience any bills with them, they don't experience any lifestyle with them, they don't experience anything else. So they start arguing with each other about, I'm going to break up.